So remember that one time I went to the store and got Italian sausage and we canned it because it had yellow stickers or orange stickers and it was on sale for a great price, and we put it on the shelf to make sure we could have it for later? Yeah, we ate it all. So guess what? More yellow stickers. In case you missed it on the last one, I'm gonna can up this original Cecilia. Cecilia? Help me pronounce that, y'all. Comment in the comments. That word. We got 5 of them. We're gonna make 5 pints. We're gonna use the electric canner. Let's do this real quick so we can wrap this up and move on to an even bigger project. All right, here we go. All right, y'all, don't tell anybody, but I actually cleaned my stove. It's actually clean. We're gonna pray it stays clean through this entire process. So, you guys, whenever I can any type of ground product, I like to brown it first. I believe that it helps with the texture. It helps with the flavor. Raw packing, ground meat, whatever kind of meat it is, I think is gross. And yeah, it smells like dog food, and you know, it comes out of the can like dog food. Or like when you slide refried beans out of a can. Yeah, we don't want that. Okay, 5 pounds in. I'm gonna brown these and we'll bring you back when it's time to can. So we're about halfway. See all the liquid in there? I wanna get some of that out. So we're gonna drain this. Get it back in because I want this to brown, not boil. All right, got most of it. See how much? That's not bad. All right, back on the stove. Now removing that liquid will help this to start to brown. And I don't mean just cook through like it's turned brown. It's like gray right now. I want actual like brown bits on the meat. So now that all that liquid's gone, we can start that process. Then we can. All right, y'all, this turned out lovely. We've got some, I don't know if you can see it on camera or not, but it's browning on the bottom, and that's what we're looking for. So I am very pleased with the way this turned out. So next what we're gonna do is we're gonna load our jars. I've got 5 jars. I had 5 pounds of meat. That's usually 5 pints, as long as I don't throw everything on the counter. Y'all know I gotta throw something on the counter. All right. Let's get a little bit in there. And I believe, I'll go get my canning Bible, but I believe the canning Bible says an inch head space. But we will verify. And all I'm gonna do is fill these guys up. This is my favorite ladle. We'll link it in the description for you. Ooh, that one's too full. I'll adjust it. Now I will need to get my chopstick and push some of this down in the jar because this is very, very lightly packed. We don't want to cram pack it, but we definitely want to get all this meat in 5 jars. So let's go get I need a spoon and a chopstick. Let's push some of this in. Now, because we're hot packing this and we're not raw packing it, we are going to have to add some liquid to it. So I'm just going to add water because this is already seasoned meat and I don't want to change that flavor profile. So we're going to just add water. I think that would be best. This can use a lot of more. And I think we did it, y'all. Got everything. These little bitty bits and bobs off of here. Perfect. Okay. Let's get this out of the way. Get these guys out of the way. Pick up half of a jar's worth of meat off the counter. Oh yeah, this will be good. I feel very comfortable with those levels. Okay, we need some paper towel and some vinegar. All right, I got this, I got this. I'm gonna go fill these jars up with water. I'll be right back. All right, fill that up with just some plain old fresh filtered water. We're going to do some debubbling. Make sure all the little nooks and crannies have fluid in it. Might have to add some fluid, that's okay. I like to give them a little spin. Yeah, I think everybody needs a little bit more water. Let's do that. All right, we top those guys off. I'm on page 97 of my Canon Bible. So easy to preserve, 6th edition. And ground chopped meat. We're doing a hot pack. 1 inch of headspace. These are pints. So we're gonna go 75 minutes. So get that out of there. Next on the list, I've already got clean rings, or clean lids. So we need to put some vinegar around this because I know I got some meat juice on here. And meat juice is bad for the jar sealing. I want that nice and clean. And that vinegar cuts through the meat juice. So I'm going to do all these real quick. Nice clean lid, ring, finger tight. Well, I thought there was something on there. Make sure you guys are real diligent with scrubbing the lip of the jar, because when I have seal fails, it's usually because I missed something right here. Okay. Boom, done. And now we have one of my favorite convenience items. It's my canner, my electric canner. And follow directions on your canner, however you do it. This requires 8 cups of water. We load the jars in. We seal it up. We put the vent on exhaust. We hit high pressure. And we time it up to 75. Hit start, and then we're just going to follow the directions for this canner. Now, you do not have to have an electric canner to do this, a pressure canner to do this, but you do have to have a pressure canner to can meats. They are a low acid food, and you must use a specific type of pressure canner. I know this looks like an Instant Pot. It's not an Instant Pot. It's an actual canner made for canning, so the pressures are good, and these companies have done the requirements to make sure that the pressure gets up to where it needs to be inside here, just like it would on a stovetop canner. So this is going to run its course. We'll bring you back whenever it's time to pull those out, and it's time to start the next project. So you ready for another one? This is going to be a big one, so I might have to break out the big canner, and I can't get it off the shelf, so I need Greg to get home so he can get my canner off the shelf. It's that heavy. So, okay. See you in about 2 hours. All right, y'all, it's the next day. I ran out of steam yesterday. I just could not get around to getting those pork butts done. So let's take those 2 pork butts, get them canned up just like we did our Italian beef. So let's go. So we have 20 pounds of pork butt. We're not going to can all of it. This is 4th of July weekend, so we're going to use some of this pork butt as meals over the weekend. I'm trying to get all my proteins cooked so I can relax over the weekend as well and just focus on playing in the yard and doing whatever we're going to do for the holiday. So I am going to start slicing this up, and we're going to do it just like we did the beef. We're going to remove big chunks of fat that won't render down. We're going to get them in jars. Okay, y'all, I got the 7 done. I know 7 will fit in my pressure can, my small pressure canner, so I'm gonna do that. Greg wants, like I said, I like to cook all my proteins ahead of time, so I'm gonna transition to that. Then we'll go get the pressure canner and get these canned up. All right, we got the canner filled up with about 1.5 inches of water, and we're gonna load in our quart jars. Processing cubed meat like this in quart jars will take 90 minutes. So we're gonna run this for 90 minutes and see. The reason why I do 7 jars, 7 jars fit perfectly. Now, just because the run time is 90 minutes, this is my dad's canner, it's so tight, I love it, does not mean that's how long it's gonna take. It's gotta come up to pressure, it's got to can, and then it's got to come down to pressure. So we're probably looking at closer to 2.5, 3 hours, depending on how long this takes. It's cold product, so it's going to take a little bit longer. If it was a hot pack, this would heat up faster because we'd have a jump start on the heat. So a couple hours, and we'll come back and check everything. Now,